Hello there. Are there days when you're just not feeling it, or you run into someone and you know they're in a mood? Well, we're going to be talking about mood all month. Going to be dropping some wisdom, dropping some knowledge about what moods are, how we can handle them, how we can change them, and how we can feel better. And we're going to start that in just one moment. Hello, 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 and welcome to Stress Talk Live. This is a place where we help women over 40 to live healthier lives through strategic stress management and solution focused self care. I'm so glad to see all of you. I am especially glad to see you. I missed you. I missed you. So I'm glad you're here with me this evening. We're going to be talking about moods all month. As you know, we wrapped up a month of suicide prevention and awareness last month, and we've moved into let's talk about mood. And we're going to talk about what it is, how we can manage it, how we can handle others' moods, and how we can feel better. But first, as always, please like, follow, and subscribe to Mo Bailey Consultants on Instagram, YouTube, as well as Facebook. And this is the tap link. This is where you can go to get more resources and downloads, as a matter of fact. And here's my website where you can learn a little bit more about me. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about three simple steps to finally, finally understand your mood and feel better. So, um, I started thinking about this, and you know, we're in an age where an era maybe where people are feeling some kind of way, and that is, and that's a way to describe mood when you're feeling some kind of way. And we're running into a lot of people who are feeling some kind of way. But we're not really sure what's going on, right? You have people who are angry, but we can't figure out what they're angry about and they can't explain it. We have people who are sad and they can't really explain what they're sad about. They're in a mood. And so I thought it would be helpful to really talk about this because when we're in a mood, it not only affects us individually, it affects others as well as the atmosphere, the environment. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And as I said, we're going to be spending this month talking about mood. So hopefully, when we get into the holiday season in November and December, and you're getting together with your family members, um, you can kind of understand where people are and you can help things, help the environment a little bit because you'll know these things. All right, let's get started first. Oh, what exactly is mood? When we say mood, I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to find my notes, y'all. When we talk about mood, what are we really talking about? Well, we're talking about um, a state of mind, really. Um, a lot of times we think that a mood is related to our emotions, and it is in a sense, but it's not quite an emotion. And I'll explain the difference in just a second. But it's really a state of mind. Sometimes we talk about a vibe. it's a vibe, it's a feeling, and it's also an atmosphere, right? It's the environment. You can walk into a place and you can get the vibe of the place. Like if you're out at a party or you're out going to a club, if you like to do that, you can walk into that space and you can get the vibe. It could be bumping, hopping, really jamming. It could be a lot of fun, or it could be toned down, right? You can go into a meeting. Let's say you go into a meeting and you can tell the vibe of the meeting based on what's happening. It's almost like it fills the atmosphere, it fills the room. Whatever that is, it fills it and you can feel it, right? You can get the tone. That's another word, tone, right? You can get the tone of the space. Um, I've told this story about how I went to an event with my husband. We were newly married and we went to an event, and it was a gathering in the community. A business owner was having a fish fry, and in his business establishment, and we went to that event. And there were a lot of people there. I didn't know anybody. My husband knew everybody. Everybody knew him. But we went, and it was very festive. It was people were talking and laughing, and I was meeting people. And then one person walked into that space. And as soon as that person walked in, the tone of the event changed. It was like the energy dropped. And I was surprised because it was so obvious that the energy dropped when this one person now walked in. And we were in a space where there were probably 75 people. And this one person walked in and the energy just dropped. I looked at my husband and I was like, who is that? Who is that? He said, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. I was like, okay. So this person walked in, he started greeting people. But again, the energy dropped, the tones of voice, tones of voice dropped as well. People started speaking in lower tones, softer tones. It wasn't as festive. Well, that lasted, I would say, about 10 minutes. And then things started getting lively again. People were laughing, people were talking, people were walking around, meeting and greeting. People were eating, they were enjoying the food. I can't remember if we ate. Did we eat? I don't think we did. It was just we were just there for fun. Um, and then and I mean, it was a blast. We were having a good time. I was getting to meet other people. And then another person walked in. Hi, thank you for the heart. When this person walked in, this person killed the party. Killed the party. And when I say this person killed the party, I mean killed the party. Because when this person walked in, it was like a heaviness settled in that space. The tone, the mood, the feeling, the vibe went plummeted. It was no longer festive, and there was no way to raise it back to the level of festivities that was occurring before this person walked in. Suddenly, people started leaving. As when this person walked in, this person was meeting and greeting, and people started leaving. This person killed the event. Literally killed the event. So, being new to the community, being new to this space, and having just met some people, of course, I looked to my husband and I said, who is that? And he said, okay, we're leaving, and I'll tell you when we get in the car. I was like, okay. And that's what happened. We left. We said our goodbyes and we left. Mood, a state of mind, a way to respond emotionally. It's part of a person's character. It's an inherent quality, but it's also the tone that we experience in an environment. And people can come in and they can change the vibe just by their presence. They can change it in a way that's really exciting and great, or they can kill the party like this one person did. So, what's the difference? We talked about um, emotion. I told you I would explain the difference between emotion and mood, and I'm going to do that right now. But I want to ask, has anyone that's right. That's right, exactly. A mood can shift an environment. And the environment shifts, right? Like I said, when this person walked in, the whole thing, this person just killed it. It was done. Everybody's having such a good time. It was unfortunate. And there was a reason that this person killed it too. But I'm not going into that. The thing is, we want to have an understanding of that so that we can be aware of how we affect the environment as well as how the environment can affect us, right? Yes, we can affect the environment and the environment can affect us as well. So let's talk about the differences between a mood and an emotion. So, probably the easiest way to explain this is to talk about how when you first roll out of bed, you can roll out of bed and you can say, Yahoo! I'm going to embrace the day and I love it. I am happy and I'm excited and I can't wait to see what the day offers me. And you're chugging along all happy. Or you're just chugging along, just excited about the day. No matter what comes to you, hey, it's not going to phase you because when you got out of bed, you were like, I can manage it. I can handle it. I am Wonder Woman. I am Superwoman. And even if I don't feel like it, I can do it anyway. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I'm going to build myself up and I'm going for it, right? That's a mood. That mood is not attributed to any particular object, though. It's not that you rolled out of bed and you're like, today's my birthday and so I'm happy. Or, hey, I'm getting a new car and I'm happy. Well, I'm getting a new car and it's already paid for and I'm happy. How about that? I don't have a car note and I'm happy because I'm getting a brand new car. It's paid for and I don't have a car note. So, that would put us in a really great mood, right? We would be happy. We would be joyous. We'd be really thrilled. There are also days when we roll out of bed and it's like, I am just not feeling it today. Oh, and it's like you're dragging, right? You're just dragging, trying to get through. You drag yourself to the bathroom, you drag yourself through your hygiene, you drag yourself to the closet to get the clothes you chose for that day, but you don't want to wear those because you're just not feeling those things. You don't want to struggle with heels, but you don't want to wear flats because you have to go to the meeting. But then if you wear the heels, your feet are going to hurt and you're just not feeling it. Again, that mood of not feeling it is not attributed to any object. It's not like you got dressed and then you spilled coffee on your favorite blouse, right? Or your favorite top or your favorite skirt. It's not like you lost your keys and you're going to be late for this important meeting. It's just, you just got up and you're just feeling that way. You're feeling some kind of way. That's the phrase that some of us use. I'm feeling some kind of way. Yeah? Everybody, you recognize that? Who recognizes I'm feeling some kind of way? That's a mood. It's a vibe. The difference between a mood and an emotion. An emotion is very complex, right? It's complex. It involves an experience that we've had. It's connected to our behavior and that of others. And also, we have a physical reaction when we experience an emotion. There's a physical reaction that's attached to that. And so that's part of the difference. Part of the difference is that we can attribute the emotion that we're experiencing to something that we've experienced. And we have a physical reaction to that. I'll give you an example. I'm driving to work. And as I'm driving to work, somebody pulls in front of me and cuts me off. I have to slam on my brakes. That immediately, makes me respond because I am angry. This person almost caused me to have an accident in my car, almost hit them by cutting in front of me, and they're speeding off. I am angry. The emotion that I am experiencing, anger, is attributed to that event. I'm angry because the person cut me off and almost caused me to hit them, causing an accident. I'm not feeling some kind of way that I can't really describe or I can't attribute to something. I am angry and I can tell you why. There's an object to that anger. Another thing, I got a package when I got home. Some of you know that I ordered Jenny's ice cream for the first time and I loved it. And I was so excited to get it that I was ecstatic. I was happy. I felt really good because I was about to tear into this opaque, Jenny's ice cream opaque, that special blend that was specially made in honor of C.J. Hendry, the artist. That was an emotion I was feeling when I picked up that pink box. Well, it wasn't in a pink box. It was in another box, but it had Jenny's ice cream on it. It was on our stoop. I picked it up and I trotted it into the house. I was happy, very happy. I was happy because I had my Jenny's ice cream. Opaque. It's black ice cream. Fudge. It was deep chocolate fudge. Y'all, it was so good. It was delicious. I still have some, by the way. The point I'm making is an emotion is a feeling, a reaction that involves an experience and it influences our behavior, and we have a physical response. So we can attribute it to something, whether it's getting a package on your front porch or getting cut off in traffic. We can attribute it, that emotion, and we can actually state what it is. But with a mood, we can't. We're just feeling some kind of way. In the environment, we can't really describe what that is. We just know that there's something happening in the environment, in the atmosphere. It's a funny feeling. It's kind of funny. Just like the event that my husband and I attended, I knew that the energy was up here and things were very festive. And when that person walked in, doom, it just fell, right? I could not tell you what that was. I couldn't tell you what it felt like, only that it killed the party. That's the only way I can describe it. But I couldn't exactly tell you what it was. And I couldn't tell you what people were responding to because I didn't know. The mood shifted. So I talked about mood. And I also talked about the difference between mood and emotions. Now, I want to talk about, in the little time that we have left, how do we usually describe moods? And this is kind of interesting because when we describe moods, we are describing, uh, we describe it in two ways, really. I mean, when we talk about emotions, there's a range of emotions that we can use, right? We can describe emotions. If you're happy, you can be happy, you can be joyous, you can be ecstatic, you can be whatever. Drop something in the comment section. How else can you describe happy, right? The same with other emotions. There's a range of emotions. But when we talk about mood, we categorize mood in two different ways. They're either positive or negative. Positive or negative. We're either in a good mood or we're in a bad mood. There's really no in between in the way that we describe mood. Now, when we're in a mood, right, or we're in a particular mood, whether it's good or whether it's bad, whether it's positive or whether it's negative, it influences how we interpret events around us, as well as how we use our judgment. It influences our judgment about things that are going on around us. Again, here's an example. Think about being in your workplace and you're just in a mood, let's say um, a bad mood, okay? You're in your workplace and the fire alarm goes off. You're trying to finish up a task and the fire alarm goes off. And you have to drop what you're doing to leave the building. You're going to have some feelings about that, right? You're going to have some feelings. But how does your mood, because you're, in the example, you're in a bad mood or a negative mood, how does that influence what you're thinking? It probably sends you into a spiral or down a rabbit hole, complaining about, I was about to finish and now I can't. That stupid fire alarm. Oh, I'm just angry, blah, 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 right? So it influences our judgment and it influences our interpretation of the events. So let's talk about good moods first. Good mood. When we're in a good mood, we may be feeling happy or some form of happiness. We may feel optimistic. We may feel content, satisfied. We have a general sense of well-being, and we might feel, like we can do anything, right? We have a lot of energy and we can do anything. Remember, I talked about rolling out of bed and feeling like Wonder Woman or Superwoman. Hey, whatever comes towards me, I can handle it. I can do it. I can manage it because I am in my zone. I got that good vibe coming out and the good vibes around me, right? When we're in a good mood. However, when we're in a feeling negative and we have a negative mood, a bad mood, we may be feeling sad or anxious or even angry, but we also might have a feeling like just feeling hopeless, like I just can't do this. I'm just tired. I'm sluggish. Might feel like being disconnected, or you may be disconnected. You see a coworker and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And you're like, "Hey, good. See ya." Just disconnected or disengaged from what's going on. You might also be irritable or feeling short-tempered. Being in a bad mood, just being in a bad mood, being stuck is another way to describe that. So, it's either good or bad, positive or negative. That's how we usually describe moods or how we categorize moods. And within that, we can have a range of feelings. A range of feelings. Okay. So you might ask me about feelings, right? So, real quickly, first of all, feelings are subjective. They're not objective, they're subjective. It's just there's no concrete, there's no evidence, there's no concrete thing, there's no object, right? They're subjective. Um, they're also they don't have physical sensations like emotions. When we experience emotions, we have a physical response or a physical reaction. Feelings, we don't. We don't have a physical um, any physical reactions. We also we kind of I don't want to say this. Um, it's about what we are thinking. When we're having feelings, it's about what we think. It's emotions are our response to what's going on in the world, but feelings are about what we think. It's all up here, really. It's really all up here. At least that's the cognitive theory, right? That it's all here. I feel, therefore I am. I feel, therefore I am. It's just up here. It's what we think. It's what we tell ourselves. If I'm telling myself I'm sad, then I feel sad. If I'm telling myself I'm in a bad mood, then I'm in a bad mood. It's all up here. It's subjective. There's no object to it like emotions have an object, right? So, this is the foundation. As you know, I always like to lay a foundation before we get into the meat of what we're going to be talking about for the month. And I've just talked about 3 simple steps to finally understand your mood and feel better. And those 3 simple steps were: what exactly is mood? What is it? We talked about that. How do we usually describe mood? We talked about that. And then I talked about feeling and emotion, the differences between emotions and mood, and the difference between feeling and emotions. So that's it for tonight. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you all joined me. I look forward to talking a lot more about mood and giving you the tools to get through the holidays with and other things through the mood, knowing, understanding, and have the wisdom to deal with your mood and others. I'll see you next time. I'm Marcyline Bailey. Take good care.